All right, guys, how you doing? It's Bert Ferguson, Realtor here with Rush Homes, serving Delaware, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. Coming to you guys with another Truth in Real Estate episode. And today, of course, we've got my mortgage extraordinaire, Brennan Brown with Main Street Home Loans here in Delaware. And like we always try to do, at least once a month, come to you guys with relevant mortgage topics, information, and things to help you get qualified for a mortgage. So before we start, I'm gonna give you my information, of course. Bert Ferguson, Realtor. You can reach me on my cell, 302-204-1347. My email, B-E-R-T, the letter F, Bert F, at rushhome.com. And of course, you can reach me on my website or landing page where you can get a free consultation set up or a free market analysis for your current home. That's gonna be bertferguson.io. After this, I'll edit in all of my different social media links too, and you can reach me there. Brendan, before we get started, please give the people your information so they can find you.
Hey guys, Brendan Brown with Main Street Home Loans. My phone number is 302-670-3096. You can also reach me at email. It's brennanb@mainstreethl.com. I'm licensed in Delaware, Maryland, and PA.
Awesome, awesome. So today, Truth in Real Estate, we're going to be talking about credit. What are some of the biggest factors in getting a mortgage? And credit is one. We're seeing a lot of it right now.
Yeah.
So Brennan, my first question is, what are some of the most common things you're seeing in a credit report?
Right, yeah. So when I'm looking at a credit report, some of the biggest things I'm seeing is high balance on the credit cards, late payments, disputes, and collections. Those are probably the top 4 things that not only are negatively affecting your credit score, but are seen on most credit reports.
Okay. Now, let's say they have all of those, right? What are ways that they can increase their score with said things in those reports? Right? People have those common things happening.
Yep.
Their score's stuck.
Yeah.
How do they increase it and get around those?
So the biggest thing is if you have a couple credit lines, credit cards, paying those credit cards down and not fully paying them off. So the credit reporting companies want to see that you actually can keep that payment and paying it on time. And also, if you're thinking about, okay, well, how much do I pay this down to? A good standpoint would be to pay it down to 30% of the maximum limit. Also, on top of not having any late payments or making your payments on time.
Okay, all right, so here's another biggie, student loans, right? Talk to us about student loans and the credit report.
Yep.
What does that all mean? What should people do about it? We see it all the time.
Yep, so a lot of first-time home buyers, they're constantly saying, oh, I don't think I can qualify for a mortgage. I went to college, I have student loans, it could be a couple thousand. And that's not necessarily the case. The thing with that is we don't look at the total amount of the student loans. We actually look at what the monthly payment for the student loan is. Whether you've already started a monthly payment, and they say if you haven't, if they're already deferred, we would only have to take about, depending on the loan type, 1% or 0.5% of the student loan.
Okay.
So,
all right, so explain that a little bit further. 1% of the student loan. So that means $100,000 in student loan, 1% is $1,000, right? That's what you take as a payment for the debt to income ratio.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you have $5,000 in student loans, and you're like, oh man, I've got $5,000 student loans, I can't qualify, that's not necessarily the case. Depending on the loan type, we would only take the monthly payment, which would be $50.
Got you.
Yeah.
You mentioned loan type. There are different types of student loan programs. Is there any information you can give us now on some of those things that you're looking at for those different programs and which ones?
The different programs, when it comes to credit score, FHA typically can go as low as 580, but I typically tell my clients you want to have a credit score of 620. And then when it goes to conventional, you want to have a minimum of 680, and then USDA is 640.
Okay.
And then also another little fun fact, when a lot of things that I'm seeing on the credit reports are disputes. Something I mentioned just a minute ago. So when it comes to disputes, one of the biggest thing is if, a dispute could be anything, whether maybe you had a late payment, or maybe you're questioning a payment, or you're questioning the balance on the credit card. All agencies require you to have all disputes removed before you get pre-approved for the mortgage. So that's another thing I'm seeing.
Wow, interesting. So one thing I want to mention about those disputes, if someone comes to you and mentions a credit repair company that's going to be pretty much disputing things as they're trying to get things removed off their credit report. Would you suggest them not do that, or just reroute those funds into directly just paying down the debt? Or Do you have any insight on that or any advice to someone who's watching this right now, got debt? They're wondering, do I just tackle this head on or do I pay a credit repair company?
So what I would do is, first thing I would tell them is to call me and we could take a look at it and see what we can do. Okay. Regarding if it's a debt that is in collections, it's not that you would have to remove the dispute, but you don't necessarily have to pay off all collections. You only if the collection totals above $2,000, you would have to pay that off fully. Then when it comes to just regular credit card payments and such, that's something that, just keeping those to a 30% of the maximum limit. And if there's any more work that could be done, just give me a call and we can kind of take a look at it. Yeah.
Very nice.
And then one more thing, people who, or maybe you're sitting here and you're thinking, man, I don't have a lot of credit cards or credit card debt for that case, but I still want to get my credit score up. What could I do here? Say if you have installment loans, car loans, just making those payments on time are crucial. Also, if you have a family member or friend that has a long-lasting credit line, say a credit card that they've had for years, they make their payments on time, load that, they could put you as an authorized user on that credit card, and within weeks, it will boost your credit up. Yeah.
Phenomenal. I mean, I think a lot of people need to understand when you're tackling your credit, you need to have a goal in mind. And if your goal is to buy a home, there may be different things that you need to do versus other procedures if you're trying to get your credit together. So what I want to really drive home on this is get with Brendan, get with the mortgage professional before you do any major credit moves, because you never quite know. You may be throwing money out the window. You may be going towards avenues and paying things down that he can get you around or give you a better strategy on doing with your current income. If you're working a 9-to-5 job, W-2 employee, your time and your income is limited on what you can do. So you need to make sure every dollar is deployed in the right direction, all right?
Yes.
So, Brendan, any last words on credit today that you want to leave us with? Anything?
I'm good.
All right, cool, man. So go ahead and leave me your info one more time and I'll do the same.
Yep, Brendan Brown with Main Street Home Loans. You can contact me by phone or email. My phone number is 302-670-3096. My email is brennanb@mainstreethl.com.
Awesome. And again, Bert Ferguson, Realtor here, Bert F, rushhome.com, and 302-204-1347. Text or call pretty much anytime. All right. Okay. We'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.